What if one of the biggest mistakes we make about aging starts on our plates every single day? Most people assume that slowing down the aging process requires expensive supplements, exotic superfoods, or the latest health trend. But scientists are increasingly looking in a much simpler direction, toward some of the oldest grains humans have ever eaten. And here's the surprising part. Many of these grains have been quietly supporting human health for thousands of years, long before anyone knew what inflammation, oxidative stress, gut bacteria, or cellular aging even meant. Today, researchers are discovering that certain traditional grains contain unique fibers, antioxidants, minerals, and plant compounds that may help support healthy aging from multiple angles. If you're interested in simple, science-backed foods that can help you stay stronger, sharper, and healthier as the years go by, make sure you're subscribed. Every week, we explore forgotten foods, ancient remedies, and surprising discoveries that may help you age better naturally. Now let's begin with a grain that has been feeding both people and beneficial gut bacteria for thousands of years. Number 1. Barley, the ancient grain that feeds your longevity microbiome. Barley may not be the grain that gets the most attention today, but it might be one of the most important. While people chase exotic health foods from distant corners of the world, this humble grain has quietly nourished civilizations for thousands of years. Ancient cultures across the Middle East, Greece, and Rome relied heavily on barley. It was a staple food long before modern agriculture transformed the way we eat. Yet today, many people think of it as little more than an ingredient in soup. What makes barley so interesting to scientists is something you can't even see. It's exceptionally rich in beta-glucans, a type of soluble fiber that acts as food for beneficial gut bacteria. And over the last decade, researchers have discovered that the health of the gut microbiome may influence far more than digestion. It affects inflammation, immune function, metabolic health, and potentially even the aging process itself. When beneficial microbes ferment these fibers, they produce compounds such as butyrate. Think of butyrate as a maintenance crew for your digestive system. It helps support the integrity of the gut lining and creates an environment associated with better overall health. This matters because chronic low-grade inflammation is increasingly recognized as one of the hallmarks of aging. Scientists sometimes call it inflammaging, and one of the ways to influence that process may begin with what we feed our microbiome every day. Adding barley to your routine is surprisingly simple. It can be used in soups, stews, grain bowls, salads, or even as a substitute for rice in certain meals. Its mild, nutty flavor makes it easy to incorporate into foods you already enjoy. The lesson from barley is powerful. Sometimes the foods that help support a longer, healthier life aren't hidden in a laboratory or locked behind a premium price tag. Sometimes they've been growing in fields for thousands of years, patiently waiting to be remembered. And if you think that's impressive, the next grain contains antioxidant compounds that have scientists paying very close attention. Number 2. Sorghum, the colorful grain scientists didn't expect. If you asked most people to name a grain linked to healthy aging, sorghum probably wouldn't even make the list. Yet this ancient grain has quietly nourished millions of people for thousands of years and is now attracting growing scientific attention. Originally cultivated across Africa and parts of Asia, sorghum became a survival crop because it could thrive in harsh conditions where many other grains struggled. But its ability to withstand environmental stress may also hint at what makes it nutritionally unique. What truly sets sorghum apart is its rich concentration of polyphenols, especially in darker red, purple, and black varieties. These natural plant compounds help protect the grain itself and are increasingly studied for their potential role in helping the body manage oxidative stress. Why is that important? Because oxidative stress is one of the key processes associated with aging. Every day, our cells face damage from normal metabolism, pollution, poor diet, and other environmental factors. Over time, that wear and tear can accumulate. Scientists have been surprised to find that some sorghum varieties contain antioxidant levels comparable to foods that receive far more attention in the health world. Yet sorghum remains largely overlooked. Another advantage is its fiber content, which may help support digestive health and promote steadier energy throughout the day. Instead of rapid spikes and crashes, fiber-rich foods tend to provide a more gradual release of energy. Sorghum can be cooked like rice, added to soups, used in grain bowls, or even popped like popcorn for a crunchy snack. Its story offers a powerful reminder. Sometimes the foods with the most potential aren't the newest discoveries. They're the ancient staples we've forgotten. And if stable energy is important, wait until you see the next grain, because it may be one of the best-kept secrets for supporting healthy blood sugar as we age. Number 3. Rye. The grain that keeps your energy stable. Most people think of aging as something that happens on the outside. But some of the most important aging processes happen deep inside the body's metabolic system. That's one reason scientists have become interested in rye. For centuries, rye was a staple food across northern and eastern Europe. It thrived in cold climates where other grains struggled, becoming the foundation of traditional breads and hearty meals. What makes rye stand out today is its relationship with blood sugar. Unlike many refined grain products that can cause rapid glucose spikes, rye is rich in fiber and tends to release energy more gradually. That means fewer dramatic highs and crashes throughout the day. Why does that matter? Because repeated blood sugar surges can contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation, two processes closely associated with aging. While rye is not a miracle food, researchers believe foods that support steadier glucose levels may help create a healthier internal environment over time. Rye also contains naturally occurring plant compounds called lignans, which continue to attract scientific interest for their potential health-supporting properties. Adding rye to your routine is simple. Traditional whole-grain rye bread is the most common option, but rye berries can also be added to soups, salads, and grain bowls. The lesson from rye is surprisingly powerful. Healthy aging isn't always about boosting energy. Sometimes it's about avoiding unnecessary swings and helping the body maintain balance. Because longevity often grows from stability, not intensity. And the next food on our list may be even more surprising. Despite its name, it isn't actually a grain at all, and its unique compounds have scientists looking closely at its potential role in supporting healthy circulation. Number 4. Buckwheat, the forgotten seed that protects your blood vessels. Despite its name, buckwheat isn't wheat at all. In fact, it isn't even a true grain. It's a seed. And that may be one reason it often gets overlooked in conversations about healthy aging. For centuries, buckwheat has been a staple food in parts of China, Japan, Russia, and Eastern Europe. Entire culinary traditions were built around it, from Japanese soba noodles to hearty traditional porridges. Today, scientists are paying attention to buckwheat for a different reason, a plant compound called rutin. Rutin belongs to a family of antioxidants known as flavonoids. Researchers have studied these compounds because of their potential role in supporting blood vessel health and helping the body manage oxidative stress. Why is that important? Because every organ in your body depends on healthy circulation. Your heart, brain, muscles, and even your skin rely on blood vessels to deliver oxygen and nutrients where they're needed. As we age, maintaining an efficient vascular system becomes increasingly important. Buckwheat also provides fiber, minerals, and plant protein, making it a nutrient-dense alternative to many refined grain products. One of the easiest ways to enjoy it is as a warm breakfast porridge, a side dish instead of rice, or through traditional buckwheat noodles. What makes buckwheat so fascinating is that it challenges a common assumption. Sometimes the most valuable foods aren't the most popular ones. Some are simply waiting to be rediscovered. And speaking of rediscovery, the next grain helped sustain entire civilizations for thousands of years, and its impressive mineral content may play an important role in supporting the body's energy systems as we age. Number 5. Millet. The resilient grain built for modern stress. If there is one grain that deserves the title of forgotten supergrain, it might be millet. For thousands of years, millet was a dietary staple across India, China, Africa, and the Middle East. Long before modern agriculture, entire communities depended on it because it could grow in difficult conditions where many other crops failed. Today, scientists are rediscovering millet for a very different reason. Many varieties are naturally rich in minerals such as magnesium, phosphorus, and manganese, nutrients involved in hundreds of processes throughout the body, including energy production and metabolic function. This is especially interesting because one of the common complaints associated with aging is a gradual decline in energy and resilience. While no grain can reverse aging, foods that provide essential nutrients may help support the systems that keep the body functioning efficiently. Millet also contains fiber, which can contribute to digestive health and help promote steadier energy levels throughout the day. Instead of the quick rise and fall often associated with highly processed foods, whole grains like millet tend to offer a more gradual source of fuel. Its mild flavor makes it incredibly versatile. Millet can be used as a substitute for rice, prepared as a breakfast porridge, or added to soups and grain bowls. Perhaps the most powerful lesson from millet isn't nutritional, it's symbolic. This grain survived for thousands of years because it was dependable, and healthy aging often works the same way. It's not built on occasional breakthroughs, it's built on simple habits repeated consistently, small choices, every day. And the next grain on our list was once considered so valuable that it was reserved for royalty, and its deep color reveals exactly why scientists are so interested in it today. Number 6. Black rice. The grain once reserved for emperors. Imagine eating a grain that was once considered so valuable that ordinary people weren't allowed to have it. That's the legend behind black rice, often called forbidden rice. For centuries in ancient China, this striking grain was associated with royalty and prestige. But today, scientists are interested in it for a much more practical reason. Its dark purple-black color is a clue. That color comes from compounds called anthocyanins, the same family of antioxidants found in foods like blueberries and blackberries. Researchers have spent years studying these compounds because of their potential role in helping the body defend itself against oxidative stress. Why does that matter? Because oxidative stress is one of the major drivers of cellular wear and tear over time. Every day, our cells face challenges from normal metabolism, pollution, UV exposure, and countless other factors. Over the years, that damage can accumulate. Black rice stands out because it combines these protective plant compounds with fiber, minerals, and complex carbohydrates in a single food. Scientists have also explored connections between anthocyanin-rich foods and healthy brain function, cardiovascular health, and aging well. While black rice is not a miracle food, its nutritional profile makes it one of the most intriguing grains researchers are studying. Fortunately, you don't need to be royalty to enjoy it. Black rice works beautifully in grain bowls, salads, stir-fries, or as a colorful substitute for white rice. There's something fitting about its story. For centuries, people believed this grain was special. Modern science is beginning to explain why. But the final grain on our list may be even more surprising, because unlike black rice, it isn't rare, expensive, or exotic. In fact, it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Number 7. Oats, the everyday grain with extraordinary longevity science. After exploring ancient grains from around the world, you might expect the final item on this list to be something rare or exotic. Instead, it's oats, the grain that millions of people see every day and often take for granted. And that's exactly what makes oats so remarkable. Unlike many trendy health foods, oats have been studied extensively for decades. Again and again, researchers find qualities that align with several factors linked to healthy aging. One of the biggest reasons is their beta-glucan content. These special soluble fibers help nourish beneficial gut bacteria, which scientists now recognize as important players in immune function, metabolism, inflammation, and overall health. Oats are also known for supporting healthy cholesterol levels and promoting longer-lasting satiety. In simple terms, they help people feel satisfied for longer, making it easier to maintain healthy eating habits over time. Another advantage is their ability to provide steady energy. Unlike highly processed breakfast foods that can lead to rapid spikes and crashes, whole oats tend to release energy more gradually. But perhaps the greatest strength of oats is their accessibility. You don't need a specialty store. You don't need a complicated recipe. You don't need a large budget. A simple bowl of oatmeal, overnight oats, or oat-based breakfast can become part of a sustainable, long-term routine. And that may be the biggest lesson of all. Many people spend years searching for the next miracle food while overlooking the powerful foods already sitting in their pantry. Oats remind us that healthy aging is rarely built on extraordinary choices. It's built on simple habits repeated consistently, day after day, meal after meal, year after year. And when you look at all 7 grains together, a fascinating pattern begins to emerge. When you step back and look at these 7 grains together, something remarkable appears. They come from different continents, different climates, different cultures, separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years. Yet they all share the same core traits. They're rich in fiber, packed with protective plant compounds, supportive of gut health, friendly to metabolic balance, and deeply connected to the traditional diets that nourished generations long before modern nutrition science existed. That's important because aging doesn't happen overnight. It happens meal by meal, choice by choice, year after year. And while no grain can stop aging, the foods you choose consistently can help create an internal environment that supports resilience rather than constant stress. Perhaps the biggest surprise isn't that scientists are studying these grains. It's that many of them have been sitting in front of us all along. The wisdom was never completely lost. We simply stopped paying attention. So here's my question for you. Which of these grains do you already eat regularly, and which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more science-backed discoveries about healthy aging, longevity foods, and forgotten nutritional wisdom. And remember, sometimes the path to a healthier future doesn't begin with finding something new. It begins with rediscovering something ancient.